How you doing? We are going to do a quick review of Picard, Star Trek Picard. I had the opportunity to go to the special CBS All Access screening, of which the cast was all there the other night at the ArcLight down in Hollywood, and they had to do the red carpet and all of that, and it was a fun event. They gave away little swag baggy things that I would never use. It's a very girly little backpack they gave away. In fact, I think I have it here. I can even show you. Okay, so they gave these thingies away. Oops. See, and what I was more interested in is the pins that came with it. So they gave away little Delta shields. And this that was in the actual show, and this one's very funny. So it's a visitor pin that Picard actually wears when he goes to Starfleet. So I'm going to do a quick non-spoiler review, and then we'll do a spoiler. I want to talk about elements of the show. We got to see the first 3 episodes, and I want to show a quick clip of Patrick Stewart talking before the actual screening. So we'll watch that right now.
Very, very much. It seems both a matter of days ago that we first met and discussed the possibility of reviving Jean-Luc Picard's character and another Star Trek series. In fact, it was 18 months to 2 years ago, I think, when this conversation started. And at first, I was a little reluctant, feeling that everything that I wanted to say about Jean-Luc had been said over 178 episodes and 4 feature films. But then I began to listen to Alex and our extraordinary group of writers. I cannot think of a television show that has so much class in the class that we have in our writers' room. And I, given that I have a co-executive producer role for the first time in my career, I therefore had access. And that meant access to the writers' room. And I don't think there has been any experience in my working life where I have felt so honored to be permitted to sit and listen to these brilliant people sharing ideas, coming up with contrasts, talking about possibilities, taking themes and developing them and then throwing them aside and beginning all over again.
So it was lots of fun to watch him be up there and talking about it and pointing out the other actors that were there. And after I was there, there were some other actors that were taking photographs with selfies with people and stuff to that effect. So it was fun to see everybody. Of course, I've met Marina several times and things like that, but I didn't even know that 709 was there, but apparently she was because she was taking pictures. Jerry Ryan. So anyway, let's talk about Picard, because if you know me, and some of you don't, and some of you don't, I dislike Discovery with a passion. And although, one of my friends is very good friends with Doug Jones. I've met Doug Jones many times. Awesome guy. His acting's always good, but the show is just not good. The writing is just so poor. The effects are great, but the writing is just so poor. The characters, for the most part, are poor, and that's my opinion. I know a lot of people really like it, but I don't. I don't like it at all. What I loved was Pike. His character was great. All the stuff on the Enterprise was great. The stuff with him in Number 1 was great. Their costumes look great. I do not like the costumes of Discovery at all. In fact, when Pike came on and said, "These are our new costumes or our new uniforms," and I was like, "Yes, they're going to put them all in the regular uniforms." And nope, they put him in this stupid-looking blue thing with the sneakers. So anyway, let's get off Discovery. But if anybody knows me, they know I don't like Discovery. I'd watch it because I could talk to people about it, but that's about all I do. So going into this, I know Rick Berman was part of this, and even Ron Moore. How he even has time when he's doing Outlander, I'll never know. But here we are with him doing another show, and I like Ron Moore. Of course, he did Battlestar Galactica also. But I walked in here thinking it was probably not going to be good, especially when it was all of the trailers showed that it was so close to Renegades. How he was going to have basically a Renegade crew, and we're like, oh, we pitched that to CBS, and here they are just going to be taking it into Picard. But it wasn't. It wasn't like that at all. That's about the only aspect of it that matches Renegades. So, which is great, because now, of course, we're looking to put Renegades into its own IP. So here we go with Picard, and I got to say that I really, really liked it. There's mystery in it. There's character development in it. The characters are mostly likable. I really hope that they kind of take things into they have fixes that they have to do. But as they develop the characters, that's one great thing about TV as opposed to film. So with Star Wars, you screw something up, you got to wait 3 years for them to fix it. If they can't ever fix it ever. And they only got one shot at fixing it. Where with TV, you have seasons to be able to fix things that you mess up, or that you don't expound on, or that you have to explain away, or whatever. So with this, they have some fixing to do, and they have some development to do, but they have the opportunity to do those things. But on a basis, the first basis of it is very, very good. The foundation of the show is good. And I'm excited to see where they go with it. So with that being said, I recommend it. Much better than Discovery. So if you like Discovery, I think you'll really like Picard, especially if you're a fan of The Next Generation and bringing some of those characters back. But if you don't like Discovery like me, then you probably still will like this. So I recommend it on both sides of the coin. So let's talk about the spoilers. So if you haven't seen any of the first 3 episodes yet, then you might want to shut it off. Or if you're planning on seeing it but don't really care about spoilers, then feel free to watch on. I'm not going to go that heavy into everything anyway. But as far as the cast is concerned, one member of the cast I wish was not there. And I don't know what it is, but Michelle Hurd from Blind Spot, I never liked her in Blind Spot. And I don't like her in this. And I don't know what it is about her that just rubs me the wrong way. If anybody feels the same way and they know why, then, put in the comments why you think that she kind of rubs the wrong way. But I just don't like her. I don't think I like her personality and and her personality comes out in her characters. So it just rubs me the wrong. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I wish she wasn't part of the cast. Or part of the permanent cast, anyway. But she is. Okay, so Orla Brady is playing a Romulan. So Picard is in France, and he's retired, right? And he's retired from Starfleet. He quit Starfleet. So he retired into France to make his wine, which I don't know why he's making wine, because you have replicators. Anywho, so the whole replicator thing just kind of puts everything off. It kind of messes a lot of stuff up. But anyway, so he makes wine, and he has 2 Romulans that live with him. And first of all, you're like, how does this work? But they explain that, so I'm good with it. So the storyline is, but anyway, let me get to Orla Brady. So Orla Brady is from a show that I really love, which is now off the air, called Into the Badlands. And she was great in that, and I really wish that she was taking over in Michelle Hurd's place, because I think she's a tremendous actress, and I like her a lot. Even I like her character better, too, than Michelle Hurd's character. But anyway, that's my own gripe. And I'm just going to have to get over it. So the storyline is that Romulus had some kind of a supernova thing going on or whatever, that or their planet was being destroyed, and they needed help getting refugees off the planet and getting a new home. And Picard went in to try to sanction this whole event, and the Federation's like, there are or there are enemies, let them all die. And Picard's like, no, they're people. We need to save them. And they're like, yeah, good luck with that. So he says, well, if we're not going to help, then I tend to write resignation. They said, we'll take that. Thank you. Goodbye. And I guess somehow, because Michelle Hurd's character, Raffi, was involved with this, they fired her too. Kind of doesn't really work, but okay, the plot needs it, so we'll go with it. So now they're going to, they have to, so he's having dreams about Data. So if he's going to have dreams about anything, Data would be the last person that you have dreams about. But okay, so they were good friends, and he's having dreams about Data. It was great to see Brent Spiner, and actually, in the makeup, he looks almost exactly the same. Cool. So he's having dreams about Data, and he dreams about this painting, and he gets visited by this girl who's getting hunted by Romulans, and they find out that she is basically a replicant. Okay, so she's a replicant, but not really a clone. But anyway, she's like a robot, but she has bones, so I guess technically that would be a replicant. And so it's very Blade Runner-ish at that point, because these things are hunting her down, etc. And then we find out that she has a twin that we're continually going back to, that is a Borg cube. And it's a half-destroyed Borg cube that's been abandoned by the Borg. And they were able to take deborg, that's a word, deborg some of them and save some of them. However, there are ones that were dead. They were still deborging. So these are things that they need to explain. Why would you be deborging dead Borg? And they even made it a point to say, no, they're detached from the cosmic consciousness there, the collective. So you want to just throw them out the airlock and put them into space. Why do you have to spend all this time deborging them? Anyway, if anybody knows the answer to that, let me know, but I didn't see any reason for it. But anyway, that was one of the plot points that I had a problem with. So now we find out that nobody's ever created another Data again, and that's one of the other characters that I could lose. Is like a cutesy blonde doctor. I could take her or leave her. She's not that interesting, but maybe she'll get interesting further on. But I could lose her. But anyway, so she tells Picard when he's wearing his visitor badge that nobody's ever made another Data again because it was too complicated, and once the professor died, Data and lore, were never made again. So with that being said, they say, okay, there's always two of them. But with Data and lore, they were complete opposites, right? Where these two twin robot replicants are not. They're very similar. But they didn't know that they were replicants, I guess, because they had embedded memory. But you find out that there's a piece of Data in her. So that makes it personal for Picard to go and find this other twin so that he can maybe try to resurrect Data in some way. But he sees it as Data's daughter, even though it's not a genetic thing. So in either way, he wants to put together a crew and go find her. And Michelle Hurd comes with him because she's the one that puts him together with the pilot of this ship which the ship doesn't look that great. But I'm hoping maybe I don't know what they'll do with it. But anyway, that's one of my other complaints, to at least make a cool ship. But anyway, the actor, Issa Briones, anyway, she was there taking selfies with people. So she's playing the replicant. And she does a really good job. And of course, she's obviously very nice for stopping, with 10 people or whatever else, taking photos with them after one after another. Santiago Cabrera. He's playing Cristobal, or Chris. Anyway, he's really great. I'm a big fan of his as well because he's from Musketeers. He played Aramis in the Musketeers in the BBC TV series. But here's my other gripe. So he's got this holographic doctor, kind of like Picardo, the doctor from Voyager. So he's like his conscience. So it's a version of himself. So the hologram is himself, but he's talking to himself, telling him, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if you take this thing?" And he's like his conscience. He's like this psychological doctor talking to himself. I didn't like that at all. But maybe it'll grow on me. But right at this point, I didn't like it at all. So anyway, I guess he's going to take this job, and I guess get paid for it, right? So I know, like in Deep Space Nine, there's laudanum or whatever it is that the Ferengi use for money. But Picard has said many a time in Next Generation that there is no money in the Federation or in the galaxy at this point. So they don't use money. So, but I guess some people do use money. I don't know. But again, if you have a replicator, you don't need clothes. You don't need food, right? So the only thing you're actually purchasing is transportation, I guess. But you have, transporters. So you don't really need too much because if you're going to work every day, you're just transporting there, right? And you don't need food. You don't need clothes. Probably need insurance. Insurance companies will never go out of business, even in the future. So you're spending far less, and you probably need it for housing, but that's it. I mean, what else would you need money for? I don't know. The replicator thing definitely takes away any need for even restaurants. I mean, unless you just wanted to go out, they might have better replicators than you have at home. I don't know, and I guess you need to upgrade your technology, right? Because you can't say, "Hey, replicator, make me a better replicator." So I guess you'd have to upgrade to some extent, which you'd need money for. But anyway, it gets that's why Star Trek gets kind of wonky as far as that's concerned. Sometimes they say they use money, and sometimes they don't. What are you really use money for? So anyway, he's getting this pilot's getting paid to take him. He doesn't want to take him. He's I think the guy's ex-Federation anyway, or ex-military in some way. And then Raffi shows up aboard the ship and things to that effect. But that's basically the plot. I've obviously given a bunch of stuff away. But what I also is that it's a very, very slow burn. The fight scenes are great, by the way. I like the fight scenes a lot. But it's a very, very slow burn because at this point in episode 3, the crew has still not been created. Jerry Ryan hasn't even been introduced. There's this other, I guess, Vulcan that looks like a samurai. He's not even introduced yet. So, and of course at the end he goes, "Engage!" And everybody goes, "Yeah!" But anyway, I thought that there's a lot going on. There's a lot that can go on from this point, so I'm excited to see what happened. Are they going to resurrect Data from all this? What is the whole thing with the Borg? Are we going to be introduced to the Borg? I think we are. Again, if anything that came out of TNG, the best thing that came out of it was the Borg. Those are very interesting villains. And I think there's so many more stories that can be melded around that. And obviously from what Patrick Stewart said, he thought he was done. But I think that the script definitely allows for more lore to be created around this character. Even though the guy's 80 years old, man, he's still going. He's still firing phasers. 80 years old. I hope to God that I can be half as agile as him at 80 years old, along with Stan Lee and William Shatner, who's, he's 80 something and he's running around like crazy. God, if that happens. Anyway, have a great one. I hope you enjoy the show. Leave your comments below. Subscribe, hit the little bell, all that stuff, and let's talk about more shows and movies as the year continues. All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye bye.